I want to begin by talking about one of the most powerful forces in my life, my mother. She didn't teach me faith with just words. She lived it. I watched her trust God not only in moments of joy, but especially during the storms. And those lessons became my anchor. She always said, when you can't do it on your own, that's when you let God take over. I didn't understand it then, but life taught me what she meant. There comes a point in your journey where human effort isn't enough. Your plans fail, your strength runs out. That's when you realize it was never yours to carry alone. Letting God handle it doesn't mean giving up. It means giving it over. It's about surrendering your fear, your doubt, your timeline, your pride, and replacing them with faith, patience, and obedience. It's hard, but it works. A mother's faith is often the first spiritual lesson a child encounters. It doesn't need to be preached. It is felt, observed, and absorbed through daily routines, decisions, sacrifices, and emotional resilience. In many households, especially those grounded in spiritual traditions, the mother becomes the silent architect of faith, planting seeds that blossom in critical moments of a child's life. Her prayers, her calm during chaos, and her unwavering belief in something greater than herself teach more than any sermon ever could. She becomes the living example of trusting God not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's hard. This kind of faith is not theoretical. It is practical, visible, and consistent. When a child sees their mother respond to struggle not with panic, but with prayer, not with blame, but with surrender, a blueprint is being etched in their subconscious. Even when she has no clear answers or control over circumstances, she carries herself with a peace that seems to defy logic. This is not the absence of fear, but the presence of trust. Over time, that trust becomes contagious. As children grow, they inevitably encounter life's hardships: failure, rejection, illness, uncertainty. In those moments, the lessons observed in their mother's faith return, not as commands but as quiet reminders. This is how we face storms with God. The idea of letting God handle it isn't abstract anymore. It's a strategy, a legacy passed down, one that says, you don't have to be strong all the time. You just have to remember who your strength comes from. Additionally, a mother's spiritual endurance shapes her children's moral compass. They learn that prayer isn't a last resort. It's a first response. They witness that forgiveness isn't weakness. It's power. They come to see that humility isn't about lowering yourself. It's about lifting others and trusting God's timing over your own. These aren't just values. They're survival tools. This influence is especially profound when the mother herself has faced adversity. Her ability to rely on God during her own challenges shows her children that faith isn't about avoiding problems. It's about transforming through them. Her endurance becomes their example. Her gratitude in lack becomes their guide. Her testimony becomes their hope. Even years later, long after the child becomes an adult, that maternal faith remains a compass. In moments of decision, doubt, or despair, they often find themselves echoing her prayers, following her footsteps, not just out of memory, but because her faith proved reliable. It worked. It sustained. It guided. So when someone says, let God handle it, and they've seen that lived out in their mother every single day, it's not just advice, it's truth, it's a lived reality. And in that way, a mother's faith doesn't end with her. It extends through generations, empowering others to let go, trust more deeply, and find peace that the world cannot offer. This is the power of unwavering maternal influence rooted in God. In life, one of the most difficult lessons is learning how to trust when we cannot see the outcome. Uncertainty breeds fear, anxiety, and often a desire to control. But true spiritual maturity is tested not in moments of clarity, but in the waiting, in the silence, in the delay, in the not knowing. That's where divine reliability becomes evident, not through immediate answers, but through consistent presence. When people speak of letting God handle it, It isn't a call to passivity. It's a call to deeper trust. It's an invitation to believe that even when things don't go our way, they are still going God's way. There's a profound distinction between faith in outcomes and faith in God. Many people trust God as long as life aligns with their expectations. But divine reliability asks for trust even when things seem to fall apart. It's in the moments when doors close, prayers feel unanswered, and the path forward is hidden that faith must stretch. And it's precisely in these times that God proves He is not limited by our deadlines or disrupted by our doubts. His reliability isn't conditional. He does not operate on human timelines, but His timing is always purposeful. God often uses uncertainty as a training ground, not to confuse us, but to build us. When we don't see what's next, we learn to lean not on our plans, but on His promises. The silence is not absence, it's preparation. The delay is not denial, it's refinement. And when we finally see the outcome, it usually reveals why the process had to unfold the way it did. It shows that divine reliability isn't about getting what we want. It's about becoming who we're meant to be. Moreover, spiritual reliability is not proven in dramatic moments, but in quiet consistencies. The fact that we wake up with new strength, peace, or provision each day, even when we're unsure how we got through the last, is evidence of God's faithfulness. It's easy to overlook, but these daily mercies accumulate into an undeniable pattern. We are being carried, guided, and sustained. What once felt like coincidence begins to look like coordination. What once felt random begins to feel intentional. There's also comfort in knowing that God's reliability is not dependent on our performance. We are inconsistent, we doubt, we fail, yet God remains. He does not withdraw His hand when we stumble, He strengthens it. He does not revoke His promises when we hesitate, He fulfills them. Our flaws do not cancel His faithfulness. In fact, they highlight it. Trusting in divine reliability means choosing to rest even when you're restless. It means believing that peace is possible even before the problem is solved. It means saying, I don't know what's next, but I know who's in control. And that kind of trust doesn't just change our outcomes, it transforms our hearts.